welcome to Ad America, the U.S. Embassy's American Center, with me, Andrea, as your e-guide for today. So a few days ago, we were celebrating World Environment Day, and in order to celebrate that day, today we will be having workshop at America, eco-friendly toys for your furry friends. Jadi teman-teman di sini ada yang punya peliharaan nggak? Ada yang punya kucing, anjing? Oh, ada banyak ya. Jadi hari ini kita akan membuat mainan untuk teman-teman peliharaan kita, mungkin anjing kakak atau kucing kakak, dengan baju-baju bekas. Jadi sebelum kita mulai acaranya, I will be asking a little trivia question. It's a very simple question. So the question is, what is the most popular pet in the United States? Is it A, dogs, B, cats, C, rabbits, or D, fishes? If you think you know the answer, you can submit your answer to our social media platforms, and the first person who is able to answer correctly will be receiving a shout out later in the very end of the event. So now, in order to start our workshop for today, I would like to invite Kak Rachel from Liberty Society to do a little presentation.
Hello. Hi, everyone. It's really good to be here today. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Rachel from the Marketing Associate of Liberty Society. Before I jump in to explain more about us, let's watch the video about Liberty Society first.
Hi, my name is Tamara Gondo, CEO of Liberty Society, Indonesia. Can you imagine if your goods can lift up a community out of poverty, especially women refugees, and help change the environment? Liberty Society is a social enterprise where we turn your fabric, textile, plastic, and cardboard into new ways to engage your stakeholders. We're able to help brands and companies to shop more meaningfully, give more responsibly, and do CSR sustainably. We partner with you to turn your corporate waste into corporate merchandise such as lanyard, laptop sleeve, hard wallet for you to give to your employees to make them feel proud, and give to your customers to increase your brand equity to become able to meet the Sustainable Development Goal. We're creating impact reports, workshops, and also press releases because not only that we want companies to be able to do greener procurement, we're seeing how can they communicate their impact to the bigger public. Behind every merchandise and hamper, there is a story. 10% of our proceeds are given back to our training improvement program where we partner with nonprofit to train more women.
یکم ایتای بالا تکلیفی میپذیره اونیم به کشور سبو خره زندگی به ما بالا تکلیفه ما درس بخونم آیندینا باشه خوب بد نیست هم یک اوقات فراغت میشه هم یک کمک میشه هم برخورد اینو واقعا آدم احساس یکی بودن
Okay, I would like to have the slide about Liberty Society. The next one.
Hi.
Yes. Okay. So as you all probably familiar, we always facing problems with waste, right? And so what can we do to make a change? So here's our solution. First, we produce goods and gifts made from eco-friendly materials and with sustainable practices. And we do upcycling services. So you're probably familiar with recycling, but upcycling is basically similar to recycling, but what makes it different is that we made it into more valuable products. And so we also do green campaign, like what we will do today. So we share the awareness through education or through workshops. And not only that, we also have our foundation. So we also have the CSR line where we make good to our community. We have some communities which are involving marginalized women. So that is about Liberty Society. And if you want to know more about us, feel free to visit our website or our social media. And now let's begin our workshop today. Please allow me to welcome our workshop leader for today, Leticia.
All right. Thank you very much, Rachel, for the introduction. And thank you to Ad America for having Liberty Society today here. It is an amazing space. We're so excited to be doing this workshop with all of you and saying hello as well to the people online. So let us begin right away to step one, shall we? Oh, but yes, that is me. And no bangs at the time, so let's move on. Next slide, please. Oh, actually, I have my own clicker. All right, so everybody who has attended today has been equipped with a workshop kit. Let us please open them to see what's inside. So you should see a set of fabric scissors, a pre-cut tennis ball that has 2 holes in it so you can put stuff through, one animal bell, cat bell, dogs may like bells too, and finally 1 wooden skewer. This will be an assistive tool later on. And should you have brought old t-shirts with you, please know that they will be of great use today because that is the primary, actually, material for the pet toy that we will be creating. If you did not bring a t-shirt, don't worry, we have extra to give out. Please raise your hand and somebody from the team will be giving you a shirt. Okay, while the shirts are being distributed, I will be moving on to the next slide. And we're gonna preview right all the way to step 1. So what are the t-shirts for? We will actually be cutting them up into t-shirt string. We have 2 choices here. We can cut them horizontally on the bottom, like the way you would make a crop top, or you could do it from the shoulder all the way to the waist. Something to note, and I will be bringing this closer to the hand camera here. The way the t-shirt is woven, you can kind of tell that there's a certain line that the fabric is created. So this one, it goes up from down. If you cut it this way from the shoulder to the waist, there will be less fabric sort of waste and all the little pieces falling off as you cut it. However, I completely understand if it's a t-shirt as cute as this, you don't want to ruin the top and just make a crop top, you can also cut it horizontally. So it is absolutely your choice. All right, let us liberate those scissors together. I know they're brand new and wrapped. So in case you're having trouble, simply just tear this cardboard piece and pull it out. All right, these are fabric scissors. Beware, they are very sharp, but perfect for the job today. I'll line this up here. Okay. Does everyone have a t-shirt? If you do not, please raise your hand. Just want to make sure. Good? Okay, awesome. Let's move on. Oh, actually, let's start cutting. So I will be choosing to do this as a crop top because this New Zealand design is absolutely adorable. Now, in terms of width, how thick should these be? Technically, it's a choice of yours. However, you do not want them to be too thin because after you cut them, they're going to curl up onto itself because of, if you've cut t-shirts before, you may be familiar with this. So they'll turn into this t-shirt string. So we recommend about 3 centimeters or 1.5 inches. That should do the trick. You can do them a little bit thicker if you'd like. So yeah, let's begin. Just eyeball it and feel free to raise your hand if you need any help with any of the steps. I'm going to be starting too. Here we go. Let's see. So after cutting it this way, I am going to actually, around one of the sides, cut it also so it becomes one long string that is double the length of the width of this t-shirt. No, I have not done this very neatly, but that's okay. So right now it's a loop. You want to cut the loop so that it becomes one long piece of string. There we go. Here. Afterwards, you're going to want to stretch it. It's actually very stretchy. Cut cutting it shoulder to waist actually makes it even more stretchy because you're not going against the grain of the t-shirt, just like going against the grain of wood or meat. Somewhat similar. Better to go with the flow, but if you don't want to, that's okay. As you stretch it, it will get longer and actually keep its length, surprisingly. So pull as hard as you can. Don't worry, it's not going to fall apart. Amazing. Great. So here I have one length of t-shirt string. Now, main task is you're going to have to create 12 of these. I know that's a lot, but we're going to have to turn machine mode on and get cutting and stretching. So let me know once you've made progress. Please raise your hand after, and so I'll keep the status check. I'll keep cutting along with you as well. If you need extra t-shirts because the one you brought was not enough, feel free to raise your hand as well. Somebody from the team can provide extra. All right, let's start cutting. The reason why 3 centimeters may be good, and I'm definitely cutting it thicker than that, is that way you actually have more string with the same amount of t-shirt. So that's also pretty smart. I recommend cutting it a little bit thinner than I'm cutting it right now. There we go. Uber stretchy. Number 2. Let's keep going. Now, this is a great thing to do with t-shirts you think are absolutely not of good enough quality to donate, but you don't want to necessarily toss it in the trash either, because all it would do is go into landfill. And I highly recommend having very sharp scissors when you're doing this, because dull ones can make the cut very, very messy. Let's see. While we do this, can I please have some of the attendants shout out the names of their pets? I would love to know what the names of your pets are. Tiger? That's cute. Okay, wait, what animal is Tiger? A cat. Okay, who is next? Can I get another name? Oh, wait. One at a time, please. Sharpie? No. Did I hear that right? Sharky? Chappie. Chappie, all right. What animal is Chappie? That's cute. A cat. Ah, okay. We see 2 cats. Anybody have dogs? You have 2 dogs. What are their names? Bex? Ivy? Ivy, cute. Okay, adorable names. Great. You will see my pets featured on these slides later on, but we'll wait until we get there. Right. Beware not to be cutting anything underneath the t-shirt, including your hands, obviously. Please take care. We want you to be happy and whole by the time you leave. I'm also finding that stretching it while it's still in the loop form is actually very useful if you'd like to try that. And actually, if you'd like to save time, it looks like if stretched, this half of a t-shirt may be long enough. So if you cut this t-shirt string in half again, that may work. So instead of cutting 12 strips, you may be able to survive with just 6. So let's try that. As long as they are long enough, though. We want them to be at least 1 meter long. So a little over 3 feet. There you go. Oh, these are very stretchy. Cotton shirts are great for this, that's for sure. Okay. Have 4. You may notice that the bottom parts of the t-shirt, the one that's hemmed, it may not be as stretchy, so you may want to skip using that if it's not the same length as everything else. I'm noticing that for my shirt. You can tell the difference in stretch right here. That will end up being a problem later, so it may not even be worth using the bottom. Here we go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. I'll cut 2 more strips for myself, and then I'll be ready. Hoping everyone's doing okay. Thank you for your patience. This does take a bit of focus. Hope some people are finding that's a bit of a nice mindfulness activity. Such a buzzword. All right. I think I won't have to cut the design. That's great. Here we go. Stretching again. So notice it can get very far. Super long. Cutting it in half. And in half again, preferably at the seams, because those don't look as good one in the middle. And they're not as strong, and we don't want that. So you might as well just cut them. Stretch again. T-shirt string. So amazing. Here we go. All right. I'm at 12 already, hoping some of you are as well. If no, don't worry. I will just showcase the next step so that if some people are finished, they can move on. So what happens when you stretch each strip out and you've turned them into t-shirt string? Now it's time to braid. We're not going to take for granted that some people may not know how to braid, so just in case you don't worry. We have detailed illustrations on how to do that. First, we're going to be doing either a French or Dutch braid, it doesn't matter. The only difference is what goes underneath or what's on top. But the first thing to do is you're going to line up 3 pieces of t-shirt string. I'll show here the hand camera as well. You're going to tie an overhand knot so it doesn't go anywhere. Right there. Pull it through. Make sure you want to do it near the end so you have a lot of string to work with later. Right there, as you can see. Now that you have the knot, I'm going to move this shirt here, you can start with the braid. Oh, also, neat trick. If you want to trade t-shirt strings with your neighbors, that may be fun. That way you have different colored strands to work with. So take your time and do some bartering. I promise it's worth it. Mine's going to be monotone, but that's okay. So here, I'll put it against the cardboard so people can see. And now we're going to braid. How do we braid? After you do the knot, you're going to take outermost strands and put them over the middle one, like so. And then you continue to do that. As always, if you need any help, someone from our team can come and give you a hand. There we go. Braiding again, heading down all the way. And I'll bring it close to see what it looks like as a pattern. The tighter the braid, the better actually. It's gonna look much more, a bit like professional machine manufactured, despite it all being handmade. But loose is okay too. It's understandably a bit tedious to braid something this long, but there we go. Let's get going. Another pro tip, it is very helpful if you have one of the ends sort of hooked up somewhere. Either somebody's holding it with their foot, if you have very dexterous toes, or you put a weight over it essentially so it doesn't move. That way it's easier to braid because you're holding one end completely still. Think about your hair, right? All your hair is attached to your scalp, and so it's not moving around. It's definitely easier to braid. I'm going to keep going. Take this one off camera. Any chance for tunes? No? You're going to feel it in your fingers, by the way. This is a bit of a workout. In total, you are going to have 4 braids, and that's what we will be constructing our toy with. Okay. Does anyone here know how to do fancy braids like a mermaid braid? Mermaid hair? Has anybody heard of that? No? Okay. I've braided it a little too close to the end to make a knot. Beware, you may want to have a longer tail. So I'm gonna loosen some of the braids here and then, maybe a little more tail. And then I'll do my overhand knot again to seal it. And this is where the skewer can be very helpful actually, in case you need to push things through any loop. These can also be of assistance, so I'm going to try to see. All right. We will take it. Not the most neat, but that's okay. We're making handicrafts. So this is my first braid. As you can see, it definitely shrunk in length, but that's okay, that makes sense. Now we have to do this with the 9 other strings to make 3 more braids. Make sure you're stretching them out really well before you start braiding. That way the final result will be longer. Once it's braided, it's very hard to stretch it all out. Here we go. And you kind of want them to be the same length as well, so it's always good to check. How is this looking? Okay, pretty good. I'm on to my next one here, doing my overhand knot, pulling everything through, making sure it's near to the end. And as you can see, something to note, there are little fibers here falling off because I've cut it horizontally. And I'm going to start braiding again. Has anyone finished their first braid already? Not yet? That's okay. Don't worry. We'll get there together. We were actually, Liberty Society, we were at a workshop yesterday. We were creating lanyards out of plastic waste. And that was very fun to do as well. So plastic waste into lanyards, how? We used, what began as plastic bags and I believe bubble wrap, yeah? They were all pressed together to create these sheets because they're both made of low density polyethylene, which is so thinner plastics, basically, so they're very malleable. And they were created into these sheets that we could then use again to create more products. Liberty Society sells these to big corporations if they'd like to upcycle their own waste and turn them into, say, laptop sleeves, bags, anything like that. It is very cool. And yesterday, we also did a bit of a nice little talk show about sustainability. And one of the things our CEO shared with us was that fashion essentially contributes, it's like the largest contributor of waste in the world, which is insane. So today's workshop is very, very relevant. And I hope, World Environment Day is being kept in mind by everyone today. Here we are. Anybody cramping in their fingers yet? I'm feeling it coming on. It's work. Let's see. Jimena? If any of you need help, please don't hesitate to ask. We are here for you. Better to ask for a hand than be lost, because we want you to come home with a rope toy. What are the perks of having a very long rope? Say as you're braiding it, you're realizing, it's getting pretty short. Now, after we braid, it's going to be box woven. There's going to be a box weave, and that makes it even shorter. The problem with having a very short toy, well, it's not really a problem if you don't want to include this ball, but having it be longer actually allows more material to then, so that there's room for this tennis ball that's been cored. But don't worry, if it's too short, we can just opt to have no tennis ball, that's okay. The rope is what really matters. Stretching again. And while we braid, actually, I would love to bring Rachel up here whenever she has a moment so we can talk a bit more about Liberty Society and other products can be made out of waste, but she's a little busy. We can have her come up in a bit. Remember to make sure you have a knot before the start of your braid, lest it's going to come loose as you're braiding it, and that would be sad. I hope people at home are also able to follow along. It's nice because there's a little bit less pressure when you're at home and just going at your own pace. Everyone looks very focused. We love to see it. I bet. Yeah. So Rachel is mentioning that she's seeing wonderful color combinations that people are making. So I'm excited to see the final results later. Nice job bartering. Nah. Gimana, aman? Bisa dikepang semuanya? Good, good. Kalau butuh bantuan kepang, jangan ragu nanya ya. Kita bisa bantu kok. Just raise your hand. Kalau merasa agak pendek, tarik-tarik aja. Oh, nih kelihatan di kamera ada yang lagi nahan, dijepit gitu ujungnya. Biar ngepangnya lebih gampang, very smart. That is the way to go, biar lebih cepat. Bisa ditahan pakai kaki. Aku pernah kayak gitu, I've done that before. Definitely a great strategy. Okay. We are at string number 3. Oh. Here we go. All right, I'm at braid number 3. Next. Stretching my final 3 strings. Very excited to get near the end of this step. I'm glad to be doing this at the same time you all are. Kalau bareng, sufferingnya juga bareng. Here we go. Right. Jangan lupa di stretch ya, biar nggak kependekan. Want these nice. Have a notch. Now I'm gonna start braiding. And you may notice if you're braiding it loose like I am, it starts to naturally braid what's on the bottom, which is very cool, but unfortunately we don't want that. So you have to keep loosening the bottom as you do this. Udah ada berapa yang selesai? Okay, let's hear a shout. How many of you finished? 1? 1 braid? 2 braids? 4. I mean, hampir guys, we got it. This is gonna look very cool once finished. So persevere. There we go. Oh, I'm seeing red and gray. Cool colors. Now, you may be wondering, okay, I've cut up this t-shirt, what am I supposed to do with it now? Well, if you can't wear it as a crop top, we sincerely hope that you'll just make more toys with the leftover fabric. Or, I remember during the early days of COVID, I actually sewed up a lot of masks with old t-shirts as well. That was a good use for them. There's always something to be done. Okay. I have finished my 4th braid. I'll place it right here for viewing. Fortunately, they're not the same length. So I'll try to stretch them out. There we go. Okay. I'm going to roam around real quick, but I'll be back. Let's see. Gimana? Ah, yep. Itu strategi saya juga. Coba lihat. Apa? Oh, karena lanjutin aja. Kenapa segitu dong? Oh, udah habis. Oh ya, kalau emang segitu dipotong, coba lihat. Tapi nanti semuanya panjangnya berhenti segini aja ya. Yeah, that's very nice. Great combo. Seeing white, red, pink. Yellow with cool patterns. Awesome. Use your feet. Smart strat. Use the feet. Pakai dong. Itu yang bawah. Looking great. Roaming to the other side. You will not be forgotten here. Let's see. Ya, halo, silakan. Yeah, too short. So you may note the starting string needs to be at least 1 meter long, because it's just going to keep shrinking as it gets braided and later box woven. But if yours turns out to be shorter than you expected, don't stress. We'll figure it out together. And if some of you are braiding and you're noticing, oops, one of my strands in the braid is shorter than the other, technically, you can just get an extra string. So I'll use this as a sample. Say it's too short. If it's too short, easy. Simply tie another strand to it and extend it. That way you're not limited by your shortest t-shirt string in your braid. You can just keep going and make sure it gets as long as the longest strand. You can extend it, it's okay. It's gonna get a bit bumpy when you weave it, but don't worry. These are pretty strong. And if you want to cut the tails, because they seem a little messy to you, that can also be done. So it looks pretty seamless. But you want to leave some tail or else the knot won't be as strong. See? Now I have a longer string. So it's fun. There are different ways to get creative when you bump into challenges for this activity. All right. Status check. Does anybody have 2 braids completed? 2 braids? Anybody have 3? Can I get a 3? Okay, nice. Can I get a 4? All right, I'm gonna come down and help some people braid too. Let's see. Who wants assistance braiding? Ada yang mau dibantu? Siapa? Oh iya, agak lebih kendor. Iya, nggak apa-apa sih, aman kok. Kalau mau sebenarnya masih bisa dilepas. Tapi yang penting panjangnya sih. Coba, bisa saya bantu yang ketiganya mana? Minta 3 strand. Oke. Sip. 1, 2, 3. Kasih. Ambil ya. Bahannya very stretchy. Nice. Okay, let's do it. Good. Kalau ada lagi tim LS yang free, bisa minta tolong kepang. Thank you. Let's give everyone a hand. This is the longest step in the entire process, promise. Karena ada banyak banget yang harus dikepang. Tapi setelah itu lebih pendek kok, janji. Semangat teman-teman. Di sini ada yang suka thrifting nggak? Beli baju bekas? Hey, where do you go thrifting, Rach? Let us know. Pasar Baru or Pasar Senen, ya, good spots. Ada rekomendasi lain dari teman-teman? Thrifting bagusnya di mana? Blok M, yes. Mana?
Bandung.
Gede Bage Bandung. Ah, oke, warga Bandung ya. I see, okay. I've gone to Pio before. Ada yang pernah dengar nggak? Pio store. Kayak ada di Bintaro sama di satu lagi mana ya? Some of the stuff there is pretty cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair. True. Yeah. Thrifting is very fun. I hope it becomes an even bigger culture here in Indo to go thrifting. I notice some people hesitate a little because it's a hotter climate, so they think more people have been sweating in the used clothes, which is understandable. However, there are also summers in cooler climates, and people sweat in those too, so what's the difference really? As long as they're well washed and in good quality care. Oh, Rachel is sharing a tip that soaking clothes you've bought used in hot water first may help quell any worries. It's a great tip. Thank you, Rach. Udah yang keberapa? Wah, ngepangnya very tight. Nice. Oh, another thing you can do also, after finishing a braid, you can also trade your final braids with other people, so there's even more color mixing going on, because you will be weaving four braids together. So if you want it even more colorful, you can also do that. Jangan ragu barter ya. Gak usah malu-malu, tanya aja tetangga. Loving it. My team. See, Julia from our team is stretching her t-shirt string, trying to get the most out of that thing. We love to see it. Who here, who among you chose to cut their t-shirts horizontally like a crop top? Can I get some hands? Just to get an idea what you chose to do. Crop top cut or shoulder to waist? Crop top? Crop top? Fair call. Okay, here we go. We've done this workshop before where we pre-braided all the strings for the participants. You can imagine how much work that was for a small team. It was quite an evening, but we did it happily because in the end, it was a really fun workshop as well. Okay, here's one, yeah, of course. Who else can I help braid? Ada yang mau dibantu? Siapa? Kak, bisa aku bantu kepang? Udah potong berapa strip? Hah? Baru 3 ya? Oh, oke. Kalau ada ekstra bisa di ini. Hai Ali Akbar. Hope people at home are also having a good time. Oh, it's too bad you can't trade braids with other people or t-shirt string. You can cut up more clothes, I guess. That is possible. But then, would that be a waste? Who knows? See, anyone else? Ada yang mau dibantu kepang nggak? Daripada aku gabut. Mendingan produktif. Gimana? Ada yang punya ekstra t-shirt string bisa aku kepangin? Udah yang keberapa, Kak? Ini yang ketiga, oke. Warnanya lucu. So let's see which camera I meant. For people at home, if you want, and you're probably less embarrassed to do this because nobody's watching you, you can hold it with your feet, like this very smart gentleman was doing just now. Tahan aja pakai kaki dijepit. Or you can tie it to a doorknob, anything. Yang penting ujungnya nggak gerak. Ada yang udah selesai 4 belum? Dikit lagi. Akunya nggak sabaran banget ya. Nih udah ada banyak yang selesai nih, kalau mau tuker-tukeran, don't lose your chance. Kalau udah di weave udah nggak bisa barter. So I want to make sure you get your chance to trade. This is great actually. So you just pool everyone's resources together and create very cute, cute, cute toys. And please be careful of where you've put your scissors, lest anybody hurt themselves. Just note, want to make sure they're not open. Please shut your blades together. I'm going to show this adorable color combination to people at home. Check this out. Isn't this cute? Nih, kalau ada yang pendek dikit, terus dipikir ya nanti final result lebih pendek, you can still try to stretch it. Okay. How are people doing? Good, good. Kalau ada yang datang ke sini berdua terus mikir, aduh, kita sharing aja udah ngepang dua mau digabung, boleh. I recognize that this is a lot of work. So if you have to just make a toy that's shared together, that works too. Especially if only one person has a pet. That is a-okay. Tapi kalau pengen selesai dan bawa pulang sendiri, kita lanjut ke 4 kepangan ya. Kak, matching dulu dong panjangnya, sama gak nih? Oke, aku berhentiin di sini ya. Sip, thank you. Have a little bit more practice, I think. Dan tekanan ini juga ya, fasilitator. Harus cepat. Here we go. Yes. Mantap. Oke. Ya, nggak dipotong. Okay, anybody else need assistance? I've given help to 2 people. Will there be a third? No? Yes, I can, definitely. Tinggal berapa strand? Oh, mau dipotong dulu ya? Tadi ini potongnya dipotong 2? Oke. Bisa saya potongin nggak apa-apa? Jahitannya di mana ya? Where's the seam? Buat teman-teman yang di rumah yang masih di step ini, stretch your string. dan dipotong sehingga hasilnya itu masing-masing seenggaknya 1 meter ya panjangnya. Dan ini bahannya sangat stretchy, jadi masih bisa dipotong 2 kali. Nah, pentingnya saya letakkan sini. Hasilnya jadi seperti ini. T-shirt string di stretch. Nah, kemudian kalau sudah ambil 3, tinggal bentar, potong lagi. Nah, buat yang baru tuning in atau ikut, kita lagi buat pet rope toy dari bahan kaos bekas ya, kaos yang mungkin tidak bisa didonate atau tidak ingin didonate tapi pengen dipakai untuk sesuatu yang lain. Jadi akhirnya kita di sini bikin mainan untuk hewan peliharaan di rumah. Kaosnya dipotong jadi strip-strip panjang lalu ditarik biar jadi t-shirt string. Ya, tali kaos gitu. Kemudian kalau sudah ada 3, masing-masing akan dikepang. Nanti hasilnya ada 12 string, 4 kepangan. Lalu akan sedikit dianyam begitu di hasil akhirnya. Panjang banget ya itu. Saya takutnya punya saya kependekan nanti. Terus saya coba samain ya. Okay, team. Anybody at 4? Oh, okay. Nice job. Amazing. Okay. Somebody's approaching, finishing her 4th braid. Let's go, team. We got this. You can be next. Kalau udah selesai, mungkin bisa bantu teman di sampingnya. Biar kita semua sampai finish line bersama. Karena memang waktu kita juga di Amerika ada limit. Pengen make sure kita bisa sampai step akhir sebelum waktu kita pulang ya. So in addition to low density polyethylene, LDPE, that gets processed by Liberty Society, they actually also upcycle HDPE. Now what's that? High density polyethylene, which is just more dense plastic. If you think of a disposable plastic water bottle, the cap, which is a little harder than the bottle itself, which is PET, the cap is actually high density polyethylene and can be shredded into smaller pieces and then melted and molded again into new plastic. And with that, Liberty Society has created phone stands, coasters. Other companies have made furniture. So it's definitely very interesting. Upcycled materials are all around you and demand for it is growing. So we hope you also become part of this movement. So those are the plastics. There's also paper. Liberty Society's worked with paper before, cardboard waste and all things to create notebooks and calendars at big company events. I think that's pretty cool too. Though in some ways it's closer to recycling than upcycling because from one product you're creating the same one again. And of course, Liberty Society also works with textile waste. It's created products out of a material called pable, essentially. And that's a lot of different fabrics put together and then created into new thread. And you can create so many things with that because it's essentially just string again, right? It's just thread. But also scraps of fabric can be used, right? You can create all these different patterns, turn them into a tote. So many different ways to use our waste and create new things. Ya Pak, kependekan nggak ya ini? Saya kayak tadi saya... Oke, cukup. Oh iya jauh panjangnya. Oh karena saya tadi dipotong setengah lagi. Kayaknya ini nggak dipotong setengah ya? Hah? Masa? Hmm. Oh gitu. Wah harusnya berarti tadi nggak saya potong setengah lagi. Berarti nanti mungkin cuma bisa sampai ke sini Pak pakainya. Nggak apa-apa. Yang ini berarti mungkin nggak usah dilanjut sepanjang yang ini. Tapi sisanya kaos. Bikin panik nih. Wah. Somebody just shouted F-I-R-E, the metaphorical equivalent anyway. All right. But that was a good reminder for me to make sure we're like keeping track on time. So, somebody finished the 4th braid? Udah 4? Siapa lagi yang selesai 4? Almost? Okay. Karena sudah ada yang sampai ke step itu, we're going to move on to the next step, ya? Oh, this is obviously a very important slide I should have shown you, but alas, we've done the overhand knot, braided them, and created total 4 braids. Well, for some of us, assuming you are complete. Step 3, what should we do? You need to line up all 4 braids, right? Put them together like this, and you're going to do another knot at the end of it as a stopper, like so. And this is quite important because it acts as a bit of a break, and it's a nice little aesthetic choice. However, if you're concerned that your rope is simply too short and that you're going to run out of it when we start weaving, another thing you can do is, see, I've done an overhand again, and mine is actually turning out to be quite short. Another thing to do is you can line up all 4, grab another piece of t-shirt string, and instead just tie it. So if you're worried about length, feel free to do that. That is also okay. You just want to make sure it's a really good seal. So you can do tali mati, right? Biar kekunci, which is not what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what's called a square knot, which is similar to tali mati, except the ropes are parallel. It's like when you're tying a bow, it then becomes a little nicer at the end. So I hope I can actually take this off, because I'm going to need the other end of this. We'll see. But yeah, you have 2 options. I may actually elect to do that because my rope is pretty short. So yeah, I think I'll do that. I'm going to undo my big knot. We'll see about whether I can. It's pretty tight. So we have 2 choices again. I will repeat. You can do another big overhand knot to combine all the braids together, or you can tie it with an extra piece of string, and that way you don't waste the length of it. And I will show you why. If you chose to tie it shut like this, you may want to cut the tails off. So here is my little end. Instead of the overhand, I've chosen to do this. And now I'm going to lay it all out. I'm going to clean that up and create a cross. This is going to be the starting position of our box weave. Here we go. So this is where you should be after you finish all your braids. Here, let's see. Ada yang butuh bantuan ngepang lagi? I'm gonna head down to see if I can provide any assistance. Gimana? Udah lengkap? Okay. Aku ulang lagi ya, berarti instructions. For those of you, again, I will repeat step 3. So once you have 4 braids, kalau kepangannya udah ada 4 yang jadi, ada 2 pilihan ya untuk mulai ke step 3 ini. Pertama, bisa dijajarin semua, you can line them all up. And then afterwards do a big knot, like this, right? As pictured in the slide. That's option 1. If you have a very long braid to start with, that's perfectly fine. However, if your braid is too short and it's eating up too much of the braid, it's better to do what I ended up doing, which is this. I lined them all up, I got an extra piece of string, and then I tied it around it. So feel free to just choose which strategy works best for you. Sekali lagi, ujungnya ini semua bisa diikat, digabung, seperti ini terus diikat ya. Atau ambil aja tali lagi, kalau ada tali sisa, atau pinjam dari teman di samping, gabungin terus diikat lagi. Kayak ngikat rambut lah. Dan lebih baik di tali mati gitu ya. Atau di bow juga bisa. Nah, kalau itu udah selesai, base yang paling tebal ini kita letakkan di atas itu ya. On your seats karena nggak ada meja. Seperti ini. Line it up like so. And then create a cross shape. The cross is very important because it helps create the perspective for the weaving. I will show you. Okay, but we can stop there so others can catch up. And if you can provide help to your next door neighbor with braiding, please do. I'm sure they will very much appreciate it. Aku akan turun lagi juga untuk bantu mereka yang belum selesai ngepang. Siapa saja yang belum? Udah next? Siapa udah selesai? Siapa belum deh? Siapa belum? Bisa minta tolong angkat tangan? This side belum? Oke, yuk. Ya boleh dibantu. Hai Ali Akbar. Good, how are you? Okay. Can you help the others please, Ali Akbar? With braiding also? Oh, you're helping? Oh, okay, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you. Udah lengkap, Pak? Mantap, oke. Nanti kalau memang talinya yang satu ada yang lebih panjang, bisa langsung dipotong aja terus diikat lagi ujungnya biar. Aman. Ya itu agak pendek di ini aja, ikat. Daripada di overhand semua, daripada gini, pakai tali lain aja diikat. Udah, nice. Oke, great. Aman, ini keempat ya. Nice. Okay, everybody's making great progress. Awesome. Let's start showing you how to box weave. Don't worry, I will repeat these instructions because this, despite being not the longest step, is arguably the most complicated. So I'm going to request your attention for a moment and I will demonstrate this again later. Okay. Ini contoh juga, aku udah bawa contoh yang terbuat dari webbing karena ada warna beda-beda, tapi coba pakai yang ini dulu ya. So, how do we box weave? This is how you do it. You're going to create a tunnel. This is why the cross is important. You create a tunnel with the top and your bottom strands, like so. I'm going to show perspective here, right? I've made a tunnel. And after that, you're going to take the side ones and you're going to loop them underneath. So you go up and over and underneath, and you do the same with the other side. You want to hold the base with your other hand, like this. It creates this square shape, hence the box weave term. And then you pull it all to create this final result. You're going to want to repeat this here. I'll show you what the final thing looks like. Up. Closer to the camera. This is what your final weave should look like. It's not the most clear because all my strands are the same color, but I will repeat. Now, as some of you start, you may be wondering, Why doesn't mine look like yours at the final, after I do the whole tunnel thing? There's a very important difference to note here. Why is mine not coming undone? If this is happening to you, you should pay attention to this third step. I'm going to show you why you're doing it wrong. The reason why this slide, I created this additional slide is because I've done it wrong a couple times, and I've noticed people in workshops don't get it at the first go either. This is why. As illustrated, I'll show you here on camera too. Say you've made your tunnel. It's very important after that which of the side ropes are above, like this, or like this. You see here? That makes a big difference. If I did it this other way, so say my rope were here and going through, and this one were to go here, you would think there is no difference. Oh, sorry, just a sec. Here, I'm going to repeat. This is how you do it wrong. I make the loop. It may not look like it's different, but I promise you it is. Watch it just come completely undone. And the reason why is because the one opposite needs to be closer to the origin of your knot. The origin refers to this point where it's coming out of the main knot. Jadi, kalau mau ngikutin persis nih, yang kayak aku mau lakuin, dicoba ya. Kita ambil yang atas ke bawah, dan yang bawah ini ke atas. Origin yang sebelah ini ada di sini, sebelah kiri. Berarti yang sebelah kanan, kalau nyebrang, ini ujung-ujungnya harus di atas. Nih. Sedangkan yang ini, yang sebelah kiri pas nyebrang, harus ada di bagian bawah. Nah, karena yang nyebrang itu ada di origin yang satu lagi, baru bisa jadi. And I'll show you the correct diagram in the next slide. Here we go. The secret, this is it. It's very important to know this during the box weave. If anybody needs a demonstration, I can come down to show you. I'll do one final correct one on camera, and then after that I'll come down, yeah? You got it? Nice! Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna go one more time, and then I'll head down. Box weaving, what is that? Okay, how do we do this? Again, you want to create a tunnel with your top and bottom strands. Afterwards, you're gonna take your side strands, go over and under, making sure what's going over and under, once under, is near the origin of that rope it's under. And then over and under again. You'll start to notice the difference and why it's coming undone. Like, people will notice the pattern over time. Like, you will see, don't worry. It takes a little bit of practice, but that's okay. Everything new does. So here it is. Jadi box. Tada! Dan setelah itu dilanjut. Just continue it as is. So if I were to continue, it would look like this. And you just keep going up until a certain middle point. Here, I'll show on camera. This time, the origin that I'm going under for this rope is on this side, right? Which is like the bottom of the plane. So when I go over and under, I will bring it closer to that origin, that here. That way, when I pull it this way, it's actually stuck against something, right? If I do this again, here we go, going underneath, and I'm gonna pull my box. Ta-da! Yet another box. Okay. Et voila. Look at this. Check it out. It's very cool when stretched, actually. So I hope you're as excited as I am to see the final result, but now it's time for me to roam. So, all right. I'm going to go back to the origin here. of how to do your box weave. Oh, that's okay. Tapi kalau jadinya pendek, pakai kain itu aja. That's right. It seems that generally everyone's rope looks a little bit short, so I highly recommend just tying the end with an extra piece daripada diikat. Nanti talinya malah habis. Oke. Wow, ini cukup kok. Oh, oke. Nih, kalau ada yang mau lihat demonstrasi lebih dekat, box weave, ya. Oke, nih ya, aku tunjukin. Ini bisa jadi bagian atas nih ya. Nih kan kita udah buat cross nih. Sekarang yang atas bawah harus dibuat terowongan seperti ini. Ini satu. Ingat-ingat ya, ini origin point yang sebelah yang terowongan ini. Dan origin point ini ada di bawah. Ya, ini penting. Karena yang nyebrang nanti, ini kan kanan nyebrang ke string ini. Dia naik, terus turun. Nah, harus dijajarin ke ini, jadi jatuhnya di bagian atas. Karena origin tunnel di mana dia masuk adanya di atas. Nah, kemudian yang sebelah kiri naik, terus turun, masuk lagi, yang ini di bawah. Nah, ini penting. Kalau misalnya yang kanan ini di bawah dan yang bawah ini di atas, nanti pas ditarik langsung lepas, nggak jadi weave. Nah, sekarang tinggal ditarik. Bareng-bareng. Seperti ini. Jadi deh. Tada! Sih? Nah, kemudian ini ada cross-nya lagi udah jadi secara natural kan, karena ini sebuah box. Lihat, tinggal dilanjut. Sekarang yang ini yang ke sini, ini yang ke sini. Tapi karena itu harus diperhatiin juga, nanti yang kanan kiri nyebrangnya beda. Tadi kan ini yang kanan di atas, terus kiri di bawah. Tapi sekarang terowongan dia yang mau dilewatin, originnya di bawah. Jadi nanti dia naik, turun, masuk, yang ini sekarang kanan di sebelah bawah. Gitu. Nah, nanti dicoba-coba aja. Kalau misalnya pas ditarik emang kendor, kemungkinan besar alasannya itu, sekedar ketukar aja yang mana di atas, mana di bawah. That's it. Oke, sip. Ini demonstrasinya ya. Kalau ada butuh bantuan lagi, just let me know. Oke, silakan mau dicoba, Pak. Oke, of course. Oke, saya cek ke sebelah sini lagi ya. Gimana? Aman? Oh, nice. Oke. Bagus banget warna-warnanya. Oke, dan ujungnya diikat ya akhirnya. Pakai tali lagi. Nice. Oke, coba aku lihat. Nah, kalau buat di sebelah sini, kalau ada yang mau lihat demonstrasi box weave, silakan ya. Coba aku di tengah sini deh. Misi Kak, maaf ya. Oke. Nih, aku tunjukin cara box weave kalau mau lihat. Buat Oke. Buat bentuk cross dulu. Dengan bentuk silang gini. Nah, karena ini agak aku ambil nih. Kita buat terowongan pakai yang atas sama bawah. Perhatiin ya. Origin si terowongan ini untuk yang tali sebelah kiri adanya di atas. Dan yang tali sebelah kanan ini adanya di bawah sini. Ini akan sangat penting karena tali yang nyebrang di bawah terowongan nanti, kan ini dia naik dari ini terus masuk terowongan. Karena ujungnya di atas, yang masuk lewat bawah itu harus juga landingnya di atas. Kayak gini. Di kotak ya. Nah, sedangkan yang sebelah kiri, nih, masuk ke terowongan yang sebelah sini, tapi dekat ke ujung di mana tadi dia keluar gitu, the origin point, right? Nah, jadi nanti pas ditarik semua ujung, it becomes a box. Hence the name. There we go. Nah, ujungnya begini. Kalau mau dilanjut, step berikutnya sama persis. Tapi diperhatiin aja, originnya di mana. Nah, terus dilanjut. Nih. Ya, ini originnya yang mana nih? Kalau ini yang tali sebelah kanan, aku taruh di bawah atau di atas? Kenapa di atas? Bawah, ya betul. Karena ini originnya sekarang di bawah ya. Nah, gitu. Ini big impact banget. Kalau misalnya ketuker, notnya nggak jadi. Pas ditarik langsung lepas. Nah, sip. Kunci deh. Tinggal ditarik aja. Seandainya aku punya 4 tangan. Bersyukur deh punya 2. Iya. Oke, here we go. Oke, silakan lanjut ya. Coba dulu. Yes, okay. Anybody else need help? Alright, mau demonstrasi lagi di atas bareng? I'll show you again ya. Wait, Like. Oh iya, itu jadi kok, itu bener. Nice, tinggal dilanjutin aja. That looks great. Gila, I love the colors. Wow. Iya, ini bisa langsung mulai. Box weave. Bisa. Iya, bisa. Oh, ini udah jadi kok. Tinggal dilanjutin. Nah, ini sekarang terowongnya ke sini. Hop, hop. Kan? Tadi udah bener nih kan. Sekarang tapi origin point-nya di sini. Jadi yang nyebrang di bawahnya nanti harus ada paling dideketin ke si ujung itu. Kemudian seberang ini sama persis. Sekarang dia di bawah. Pokoknya the key selalu deketin originnya pas lewat bawah terowongan. Ya. Tinggal ditarik. Iya betul, hasilnya kayak kotak. Nice. Oke. Aku tunjukin lagi ya slide the secret. Apa sih kuncinya biar box weave-nya benar? Whatever string crosses underneath should stay near the origin of the tunnel string. Jadi kalau dia ngelewatin bawah sebuah terowongan, itu pas ditarik harus benar-benar di sisi origin point-nya itu. Nggak boleh yang lepas. Karena kalau lepas pas ditarik, langsung keluar. Itu alasannya. Aku kembali ke slide box weave ya. Oke. Ya, mohon dilanjutin sampai mendekati ke tengah. Karena ada pilihan untuk tambah tennis ball. Now, why is there a hole in the tennis ball? The reason is, once you continue your box weave all the way to the middle, you can pull the rope through and put a tennis ball in the middle. I'd love to show you, but I can't remember where I put my string, so I'm gonna ask the crowd. Just a second. Hi team, ada yang lihat contoh aku nggak yang warna biru? Ada di sebelah mana ya? Oh, makasih. Thank you. Thank you, Kak. Ada yang mau ditunjukin lagi? Mungkin pakai contoh aku sebelum udah aman? Belum. Alright. Let me come through. Okay. Gonna be box weave here. Show you. Nih kalau mau dilihat. Ini stringnya warnanya lucu. Oke. Ini ya. Aku bakal ambil ini sebagai atas, bawah, kanan, kiri. Ini atas bawah aku bikin terowongan. Ya kan? Nah, setelah itu ini sebelah kanan nyebrang ke sini. Ini kan naik terus turun, tapi penting ini ada di sebelah mana. Kalau aku ambil ini bawah, ini atas, dia pas nyebrang, ini harus ada di bagian atas, mendekati origin point terowongan yang dia lewatin, harus ke sini. Karena nanti pas ketarik, dia harus ketahan sama origin. Nah, berarti sama persis yang sebelah sini juga harus begitu. Tali sebelah kiri, tembus terowongan sini, mendekati origin point si weave. Jadi pas ditarik nanti jadi kotak. Tada! Nah, tariknya yang kencang ya, habis itu coba dilanjut. Nih. Betul. Nah, ini. Kayak nganyam sebenarnya. Nah. Iya. Iya, Terus yang ini ke kalau itu tadi nanti pas ditarik bakal lepas. Kenapa? Karena dia nyebrang ke sini tapi nggak ada yang nahan. Jadi yang ini harus ada lewat bawah di sini. Naik terus turunnya di sini. Nih, naik terus turun tembus sini. Nah, kok nggak lewat? Bentar. Nggak, dikit lagi kok ini. Tinggal hop, come up, come through. This should work. Alright, coba ditarik. Sebentar, kok hilang ya? Coba lagi ya. Cukup ya, udah dimasukin tenis ball aja kalau udah sampai tahap segitu. Ya, tanam. Nah, kemudian nanti ini nyebrangnya, ini kan originnya di sini nih, seberangan dia. Berarti ini tariknya yang bawah, terus yang ini naik terus masuk ke bawah. Sip. Nah, tinggal ditarik, harusnya aman. Sip. Silahkan dicoba ya. Oke. Contohnya mana ya? Oke. I'm going to finish my sample now so that I can show you how to put the tennis ball through. Make sure you don't get all the way past the middle point if you want to put a tennis ball in. As I box weave, I'll make sure to do it under the camera. That way, if you want to see it again, you can. I'll also narrate as I do this. I'm creating a tunnel, making sure that the side strands are near the origin of the tunnel as I go under it. And then all there is to do is pull. And there, it naturally creates a cross, so we can just continue doing the same thing. There you go. For people at home, make sure you got your tunnel. And just pull it through. Over and under. And that's your weave. Kalau di sini ada yang pernah nganyam atau bikin ketupat atau pie crust, tekniknya agak mirip. Udah mulai ngerti nggak? Getting on a roll? Gimana? Apa masih bingung, suka lepas? Nah, hasil akhirnya harusnya seperti ini nih. Kalau ditarik, ada pola-pola kayak gini juga, tumpukan-tumpukannya. Ini aku lagi estimasi sisanya cukup nggak ya? Kalau misalnya mau nambahin bolanya sekarang, mungkin aku akan weave 1 kali lagi, biar persis di tengah. Iya. Go. Yeah. All right. I've reached the middle point. And so I'm going to try pulling everything through. Here. Tennis ball in. It's actually quite important here, though, to have a lot of extra rope. The reason why is I'm actually going to unweave one of the things. This tennis ball needs to stay in the middle of your rope toy because it can just fall off. So I'm going to tie it. Needs a break. This is a bit of a stopper knot. Up. right? This will make sure that the tennis ball doesn't go anywhere once I pull all the strings through. Now, using your skewer, if you need it, you can start pushing each braid in one by one, like so. Oops, there we go. Heading in. That's through. If you're worried about the length of your rope and it being too short, you can experiment with not doing the overhand break. However, there is a risk that your tennis ball is just going to fall right through one of the ends later on, so keep that in mind. Stopper knots here actually help stop the tennis ball as well if you did the overhand here. So there are different techniques to use. Just have to get creative and choose what we'd like based on what we've got. Ini tali ko kemana ya yang pendek? There we go. Oh, that's not it. My rope is missing. Ah. Oh dear. All right, team. We got it. Almost there. Great. Now, once you have all the braids through, you want to tie another overhand. I seem to have run out of rope just by doing this, so I may stop here actually. Here we go. Oh, though granted, the hole seems short enough, or small enough, that if I just start box weaving, it may not go anywhere. Let's see. Let's see what it'll look like. This may work. Look at that. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. All right. If your rope is too short, the holes may have been cut small enough that you can just box weave all the way. No need to do this overhand stopper. It takes up so much rope doing that. Just keep going. I'll do a few more and then finish mine up. There. I hope people at home, if you're streaming, you're not having too hard of time figuring out how to do this box weave. Feel free to pay attention to how I'm doing mine as a way to double check your work. I can do one more weave, I think, and then finally end it. Okay. I'm at my final weave. And I've actually come undone. I did it wrong. I did not follow the secret. All right. Great. Now, say you wanted to add a little cat bell, or I guess dogs enjoy bells too. If you want to add it to your toy, one option is to simply just loop it through one of your looser strands using the skewer. You can try to pop that in there and pull it through and tie it. That's what I'm going to try to do. Don't worry about it needing to look perfect or anything. I'm sure your animal friends will love them just the same. There we go. I've pulled it through. And I'm going to tie it. Just find a way so you can attach the bell somehow. There are different ways to do this. But just make sure it's all tied very tightly. We don't want it to come loose. I'll show the step to do that in the next slide here. How to add the bell. Great. Once we're there, if you want to add a final tie with an extra piece of string, you can. So I'm going to tie this piece off instead of doing an overhand because I don't have enough rope left. There we go. And cutting off all the excess string. Make it neat. There we go. And we are done. This is the final result. I've done an extra overhand for no reason, but here's your pet rope toy. They can bite on the string. It's pretty stretchy when woven. Look at that. Creates a stretch. There's a nice ball for a little extra. And of course, there's a bell for the adorable cats. This is what yours may look like. This isn't the most symmetrical, but just an example. If you want to untie your braid and put the bell there, that works too. There are different ways to do it. I'm going to show it here, the final result. Adorably asymmetrical, I guess, but hey, it's homemade, handmade. Now I'm going to clean up my station, see about helping other people. But thank you so much for anybody who tuned in. Hope you enjoy your toy at home. Lebih baik balik ke slide untuk box weaving atau gimana? Apa yang lebih bantu? Coba ya. I'll return to the box weaving slide for people who are still trying to wrap that up. Belum sih. Gimana? Bolanya tembus. Oh, pengen diselesain di situ aja. Kenapa nggak dilanjut? Oh, oke. Kalau ini mau ditambah, sebetulnya lebih baik mungkin diselipin di sini. Dimana karena ini talinya lebih tipis kan. Oh, ini diikat gini. Lebih baik ini masuk aja terus diikat di ujung. Kalau ini ketebelan, iya. Mau berhenti di sini aja? Nggak mau dilanjut? Nanti bisa dilanjut lagi dong dikit lagi. Mumpung banyak. Oh, enggak kok, udah pas. Karena dimasukinnya pas udah di weave. Jadi ini harus dibuka dulu, terus dimasukin satu-satu, ya. Ini masukin bola tenisnya setengahnya. Segini udah cukup, masukin aja. Nah, pakai tusuk. Oh, enggak deh, ini masih bisa jalan terus kalau mau. Iya, tapi biar aman, lebih baik ini di ini aja. Nih, aku overhand ya. Karena ini cukup panjang untuk 2 overhand knot. Mantap, ini talinya panjang banget. Lebih panjang sebenarnya lebih baik. Cuman lama bikinnya. Maaf, kena ini. Ya. Nah, jadi kerem bolanya nggak bakal kemana-mana nih. Nah, kemudian dimasukin pakai tusuk satu-satu kepangannya, terus diikat lagi kayak gini biar bolanya nggak gerak. Terus di box weave lagi. Terus dilanjutin biar simetris persis. Yes. Anybody else need assistance, guidance? I'm here for you. Cat Bell, how do we put it in? Great question. So, a few strategies. You can untie one of your braids and try to put it in the middle, or just tie it to one of the tails of your braids and use the skewer to try to get it on there. Say, masuk masuk ikat. So it'll be on like the corner or the edge of the toy. Yeah. Because it's hard to get it in the middle. That looks great. Nice job. Okay. Anybody else? Iya, ini lanjut aja kok. Iya, sampai selesai. Tapi sisain ekor biar masih bisa diikat. Somebody asked a great question. It doesn't seem to fit if it's already box woven. How do I get my tennis ball in? You see, you have to get each individual braid through the tennis ball. Nggak boleh di weave dulu, kalau nggak muat. Karena weave-nya itu terlalu tebal, sedangkan lubangnya kan kecil. Jadi kalau sekedar weave, bolanya ini nggak bisa lewat. Jadi harus satu-satu dimasukin. Gitu. Dan kalian bisa pilih mau ada tambahan rem gendut seperti ini biar nggak bisa jalan atau mau langsung box weave. You have to exercise your own judgment, tergantung ukuran lubang kalian itu di tenis bola sebesar apa, ya. So in the end though, it can look like this. The placement of the bell also depends. You can add it wherever you can. Just take your pick. Now at home, if you have tennis balls lying around, feel free to use them for this if you don't play with them anymore. This is a great way to use tennis balls as well. Which step? Mau diulang lagi? Oh, good. Okay. And I have to admit, yeah, your pet rope toys look so much better than mine. No joke. You are creating absolutely beautiful things. Mine is asymmetrical, kind of funky looking, but yours are all much longer stranded, symmetrical. It's very beautiful to see. Great job, everyone. So colorful. Just, yeah, rocking it. Serius, bagus-bagus banget loh ini pada bikinnya. Kalian berhak bangga ya, asli. Punyaku malah aba-aba. Oh, nggak usah di-knot, lanjut aja langsung box weave. Lubangnya kecil kan? Ya, aman. Oh, berarti langsung lanjut gini aja. Biar nggak kehabisan tali. Tapi ini nggak simetris. Yang di atas mau ditunjukin bentar ya. Halo, can I help? Nice, cute. Nggak usah di overhand kependekan. Iya bener. Oke. Udah tembus nih. Tembusin satu-satu terus langsung dilanjut aja box weave-nya. Nggak usah diikat kayak aku. Karena talinya itu udah lumayan pendek. Kayaknya nggak bakal gerak kemana-mana kok. Nah udah lanjutin aja. Kan satu udah tembus, yang lain dibikin tembus. Sekuat tenaga. Nah pakai tusuknya bantu untuk nembusin lubang. Kalau butuh tusuk untuk masukin kepangannya ke dalam tenis ball, dipakai ya. Soalnya susah kalau pakai tangan mau ditarik. Lubangnya kekecilan. Coba. Oh, so cute. Kalau tali kependekan apa gimana, semuanya bisa diakal-akalin lah. Apapun cara mengikat tali yang kalian tahu, pakai aja. Kita di sini nunjukin beberapa teknik, tapi nggak harus persis diikuti juga kan? Kalian berhak kok. Exercising your own creativity, aman. Final result here. Nanti once you're finished, please separate your waste ya. Nanti tolong cardboardnya dipisahin. Ini plastiknya, ini juga bisa kami bantu copotin. Tapi put all your textile waste together, your cardboard together. That way we can better clear it all up for you too. Kalau kaosnya akhirnya jadi crop top dan bisa dibawa pulang, kenapa enggak? Ini punya siapa ya? I hope everyone at home is doing okay. You're probably near the final step as well, if you're following along with us. Seeing very cute toys. Oh, people are taking pictures. They're so cute. Great job, everyone. Truly wonderful pieces of work. Iya, itu juga. Yang penting nggak bakal kemana-mana kok, Pak. Wah, bagus. Keren, keren, keren. Pada jago ngepang dan jago ini ya, ternyata. Pada weaving. Pinter nganyam. Gimana? Kok gagal? Apa itu gagal? Nggak ada yang namanya gagal. Sekedar butuh coba lagi. Mana? Oh, tadi malah dikepang lagi. Udah dikepang lagi. Oh, karena cuma ada 3. Oh, 4. Oke, coba yuk. Kita box weave. Ya. Jadi dibuat jadi cross dulu. Terus setelah itu nih bikin kayak bentuk terowongan pakai yang atas bawah. Ini ingat ya, origin point yang ini di sini. Berarti kan kalau aku dari perspektif aku, ini originnya di atas. Dan yang ini originnya dia di bawah, kan? Titik. Nah, ini penting harus di note karena tali samping yang nyebrang nanti. Ini kan dari ini nyebrang bawah yang ini. Dia karena origin yang di seberangan di bawah ini harus dia di atas. Ini talinya juga harus di atas. Terus yang ini, kalau misalnya yang ini tadi ini di atas dan ini di bawah, pas ditarik langsung lepas. Nah, ini jadi deh kalau ditarik semua. Like this. Jadi box weave. Yeay, look. Jadi bentuknya kotak. Setelah itu tinggal apa? Terserah sih. Bebas. Tergantung pilihan aja. Nah, ini terus pas kita mau mulai lagi, ininya apa orientasi ini pun sebenarnya nggak penting gitu. Yang penting sekedar ini aja. Ada 2 yang jadi terowongan. Yang penting itu merhatiin dia pas lewat terowongan deket titik origin terowongan itu. Gitu. Nih, aku contohin ya, kalau misalnya yang ini di atas, originnya walaupun yang ini di bawah, pas ditarik, nanti langsung kendor. Nih, lepasnya gini, karena, lihat, ya kan? Nah, mau dicoba? How are you doing, Sim? Where's yours? Udah jadi. Okay, so I'll wrap them. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for having tuned into this workshop by Liberty Society with Ad America. We're so happy to have been invited again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Some of our friends will still have to continue a bit, but if you're at home, feel free to keep going as well. And now I'll bring up Andrea back to wrap everything up. Thank you so much.
Oke, thank you so much Kak Tish. Gimana teman-teman, seru bikinnya? Seru, nanti tinggal dikasih ya ke kucing teman-teman atau ke anjing teman-teman atau peliharaan lain ya. Also earlier, before this event started, I asked a little trivia question, which was, what is the most popular pet in the United States? And the answer is dogs. Congratulations to Aishti from Instagram for answering the question correctly. Also, if you think today's event was fun, please consider following us on our social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at AT America, and please consider subscribing to our newsletter and YouTube channel as well. And with that, we have reached the very end of today's session, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in and see you at the next At America event. Bye-bye. Mau foto ya, Kak? Aku ambil pelangnya dulu.
Belum selesai. Karena udah tahu kan sekarang caranya gimana.
I hopped off the plane at LAX with a dream, my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame excess. Am I gonna fit in? Jumped in a cab, here I am for the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign. This is all so crazy. Everybody seems so famous. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the taxi man turned on the radio and a Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. So I put my hands up to play my song. The butterflies fly away. Nodding my head like yeah. Moving my hips like yeah. Got my hands up to play my song. I know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah. It's a party in the USA. Yeah. It's a party in the USA. Get to the club in my taxi cab. Everybody's looking at me now. Like, who's that chick that's rocking kicks? She gotta be from out of town.